What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Leading to a Higher Altitude podcast. I'm your host, Forrest Pritchett, the current IFC Vice President of Public Relations. Today I'm joined by MacKenzie and Tyler Ludwig. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Doing great today.
All right, so I'll just give you a chance to start to introduce yourselves.
So my name is Matt MacKenzie. I'm a junior at Embry-Riddle studying uncrewed aircraft systems, and I'm a new member in the Fraternity of Phi Gamma Delta.
My name is Tyler Ludwig. I'm a freshman at Embry-Riddle studying aerospace engineering, and I joined Beta Theta Pi last semester.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming in. So the first question, we're going to start off just kind of an icebreaker, just to get things rolling. It's going to be, what's the funniest thing that you've seen on the internet recently?
Instagram Reels. Anything on it. I mean, just pure comedy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just kind of doom scrolling through some Instagram reels.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the Instagram Reels are interesting. Some of them are a little too interesting, but they're pretty funny.
For sure.
All right, so this podcast is kind of centered around people that either did not really want anything to do with Greek life or maybe just were kind of on the fence since joining college. I know myself personally, I didn't join until my second semester of my sophomore year, so I'm kind of in that category, but it's just to highlight members like that, which I believe both of you are. So with that being said, the first question, kind of real question here, is going to be, what got you guys both interested in Greek life in the first place?
Yeah, so just for some context, I was never really into Greek life. I saw the fraternities and sororities around campus. I saw their fundraising, their tabling events, and it was, something that caught my eye, but I was never really interested in. But of course, talking to you, Forrest, and then some of the other brothers and many other fraternities, for example, my brother Charles and Griffin and Sigma Chi, and then of course Forrest, Ben, and Brennan and Phi Gamma Delta. It started to kind of catch my eye a little, and then hearing about some of the opportunities that they were able to do through it, some of the leadership opportunities that they got out of it, was something that drew me in. And then, of course, having some conversations this semester with some of the brothers in my fraternity before I joined kind of reeled me in. And so I went through the rush process, so to speak, and I became a member.
For me individually, I would say there was a lot of buzz around like all the Greek life going into my first year here because there was the whole rush and there was all the events of the Greek things happening on campus. Definitely caught my eye a lot, and originally I kind of thought it was something I would never really be a part of. It was just kind of something going on outside of my kind of domain, but kind of seeing things happen more and more and talking to a lot of the people involved in it, I realized that the benefits are crazy because the bonds people make and the connections and also the benefits for philanthropy are just amazing to see. So I just love being a part of it, and I kind of just can't imagine what I would be doing if I wasn't a part of it. So
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I think for me personally, like I said, I wasn't really interested in Greek life at all. That's why I joined kind of later on in my college career. I think what kind of drew me in ultimately was just to start. I had some friends in Fiji that, was pretty close with, and they kind of told me that I should at least go to like round robin, meet the Greeks, just to kind of figure out if it was for me or not, because I never really gave it a chance. So I'm glad I did that. And then what really drew me in, eventually was having a community. Obviously, already had friends, was a sophomore, but just a brotherhood and community of guys that always have your back at any point. And then obviously the benefits of like connections and doing community service and stuff, which is, something I wasn't really doing up until that point. So I'd say that was the reason for me. And then so for the next question, what are some misconceptions you had about Greek life before you joined your chapter?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's like you're paying money to have friends, and that's like entirely not true. Just beyond the friendship and the bonds that you make, and with the case of the fraternities around campus, the kind of the brotherhood that you get out of it, you also get so many more opportunities. So depending on what your organization is, they will hold many different kind of leadership academies. They'll give you a lot of opportunities to really grow and network and grow and develop as a college student. So that you can further yourself within your career. And especially for Fiji, one of our mottos is not for college days alone. And so one of the big things that, we can get out of it is kind of the networking and the opportunities that you do beyond your days of college. And that's something that I was really, proud to see when I joined Fiji, kind of the relations that we have with our graduate brothers and the opportunities that we can get out of it too. So biggest misconception is that you're just paying to have friends, when in reality, it's a lot more with the opportunities, the networking, and how much you can further yourself within your college and within your career.
I'll say that one misconception is kind of just that like a lot of people just kind of view it as paying to just drink with a bunch of friends, which it obviously isn't true. I mean, generally, people have fun with their brothers and sisters, but it's more so just being a part of an organization, something greater, and contributing to something larger as a whole, which often gets dumbed down in the cliches and stereotypes. But being part of an organization has definitely driven me to be like the best version of myself, to really represent our chapter and our fraternity as a whole, which I think it's something great to strive for, and that's something that Greek life really provides, is for you to just try to motivate yourself to be the best as for yourself, for your brothers and sisters.
Awesome. Both great answers. So kind of already mentioned it a couple of times, both of you, but just to highlight it again. So what are some of the things that you got out of joining your chapter that you wouldn't have gotten if you didn't decide to join Greek life?
Yeah, so first thing, in the particular case of Fiji, we have a lot of brothers in here who are ROTC, myself included. So I'm in Air Force, and we have a bunch of other brothers who are in Army ROTC, as well as Air Force ROTC. And so that was one of the big things that I got out of it, is kind of the opportunities, kind of speaking to them, getting to know them better, getting to know how they operate a little, especially the guys with the in Army ROTC. And another thing is that there are a bunch of housing workers within Fiji, and so being able to kind of connect with them, network with them, get to know them a lot better, that is something that's huge. And then something that I've been recently exposed to is the philanthropy and kind of some of the philanthropy events that we got going on. So right now I'm the contestant for Sigma Chi's Derby Days, which is both fun but challenging as well. And I'm getting to know a lot of the ins and outs of how fraternities and sororities around campus do business, and how they raise money for a better cause.
Some of the benefits for me are definitely connection oriented. I've got not only just a whole heap of brothers in Beta that I've grown very close to in the last couple semesters, but also just growing closer to other people in other Greek life as well. It's definitely been a very interesting way to meet new people, and they're all awesome people to talk to. Additionally, I've gotten a lot of academically interest from my own fraternity, in the sense that so all of us are like aerospace engineers, and we have a high GPA standard. So, it pushes me to really try to understand the criteria and the things I'm working to. And if I'm really feeling like putting off a 1-point homework assignment, I'm kind of thinking I'll just do it anyways, because, it's for the betterment of not only myself, but it also represents the fraternity better too.
Awesome. So jumping to the next question, like I said, all three of us were on the fence about Greek life at one point. So what is some advice that you would have to somebody that is on the fence currently about joining Greek life here at Embry-Riddle?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that you got to do if you're on the fence is kind of look through some of the myths and the rumors that we talked about earlier. It's not just that you're paying for friends. You're doing a whole lot more in it. So continue to do research. Meet some of the brothers that are in those organizations. That's some of the best piece of advice that I can give you, especially some of the ones that have been in longer, or who are on the cabinet or exec board, or whatever the case may be for your particular organization you're interested in. Talk to the brothers that are there, go to recruitment events, do some research into the organization, what their values are, what they stand for, and especially what their philanthropy is. Do some research online, and then find the one on your campus that is best for you. So that's my best piece of advice if you're on the edge of joining fraternity or sorority.
I would 100% say just test the waters, really try and get out there and, get conversations going with people that are in FSL. And if you find that over time, a majority of the people you're talking to, your friends and whatnot, are also already inside of some sort of chapter, then you should definitely consider joining. I mean, realistically, if you find that the people that you're talking to are just a great fit and you just really meld with them really well, doesn't hurt to try and join a chapter.
Yeah, I would totally agree with both of those points. I would say that here at Embry-Riddle, we do, we have a lot of resources that you can use if you are on the fence, like Meet the Greeks round robin. Obviously, no strings attached events where you can go and kind of figure out if this is your vibe or which chapter is good for you. So I think we do a good job of that as a school. So I think, I don't think there's any reason not to at least, see what's going on and see what the community is like. Final question to wrap it up here, just more about your chapter specifically. What is your favorite value within your organization?
I think within Fiji, my favorite value is friendship, right? Friendship is kind of the basis for everything that we have going on within our chapter, all the opportunities, all the events that we do. it all circles around friendship. And so the most important thing is those bonds that you will create with your brothers throughout the time within college and throughout beyond college as well. And so friendship is kind of the building blocks of everything that you will do in your organization, regardless of what organization it is.
I would say my favorite core value, Beta has 5 core values, but my favorite one would be mutual assistance, which just kind of just means sticking your neck out for your brothers, really helping them out when you really think they need it. And it just really advocates for selflessness among a fraternity. Just doing your best to help other people, putting other people before yourself. It's a great motivator, and it's a really awesome thing to hold up high. I know that whenever I really kind of find myself really needing some assistance, whether it be during like recruitment or setting up events or even just tabling, that a lot of the brothers feel very comfortable just lending an open hand, and it makes me feel really comfortable handing one else as well.
Yeah, awesome answers there. Matt, obviously, being in Fiji with you, I personally agree with friendship being my favorite value as well. Also, the motto that we have, not for college days alone, just really resonates with me. Once I leave here, I know that I can always come back and have a community and a brotherhood here, and then also connect with brothers that have already graduated. So those 2 things for me. And then Tyler, I really appreciate you sharing that value with us. Not one I was aware of, but kind of struck a chord with me. So appreciate both of you. Thank you both for coming on. That's the final question. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are both very well spoken, and it was a fun time. For all you listeners out there, keep listening. We got one more episode for the semester, so we'll see you soon.